Ah, yes. It wouldn't be Sony if they weren't ripping off Nintendo at some point or another, even now in 2018. Cue all the Sony fanboys getting triggered all at once. But Sony announced earlier today that they are putting out their own version of the classic systems that Nintendo's been doing with the PS1 Classic. Sounds great, right? I mean, God, the PS1 was really the first system I owned that I really got into. So I'm all on board. Let's see what's going on for it. 20 games. The first thing I saw, the very, very first thing, and I was like, wait a second. Hang on. What's going on here? 20 games is not enough for a PS1 Classic, guys. I get it. The games are probably a bit bigger. They might cost a little bit more to get the rights for because they're a little bit newer than, say, the NES games that Nintendo used or the Super NES third-party games, again, that Nintendo used. But this is a very big problem for me because the PS1 had legions of games that were amazing and revolutionary for the genres they were in. The first few that they announced were okay. Final Fantasy VII was obviously the first one. Tekken 3, Wild Arms, Ridge Racer. I mean, Ridge Racer. Really? Was anybody pining away to go back and play a Ridge Racer game on the PS1 when we have stuff like Forza Horizon now? I mean, I could get maybe like Gran Turismo 2 or Gran Turismo 1, but Ridge Racer? Really? I get it was popular at the time, but I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. I mean, you could throw on stuff like Parasite, Eve, Resident Evil, 1, 2, 3, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Tactics. I mean, Crash Bandicoot 1 through 3, Spyro 1 through 3, Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, even though that's probably going to be on there. I mean, the list goes on. That was almost 20 games right there. I mean, good God, 20 games is not enough for a PS1 Classic. The next problem was there's no DualShock controllers. The controllers you get with it are going to be classic PS1 controllers pre-DualShock. You get a D-pad and that's it, buddy. So that's another problem because the DualShock was, again, revolutionary for when it came out. The two joysticks, I mean, that basically set the tone for controller design to really, evolve. I don't understand it. Why? Why not include DualShock controllers from the start? You know that's what everyone's going to want. And then the real head scratcher for me. And this is probably a bit of a nitpick to the average person, but I kind of got a kick out of this one. So with the PS1 Classic, you don't get the AC adapter that you need to play the damn thing. They give you a USB cable and that's it. You don't get the power adapter that you plug the USB cable into to plug it into your outlet. Sony, sit down, please. We need to have a talk. Why? I get it. The PS1 Classic is retailing at $100, which is another bit of a problem, but you really couldn't throw in the old AC adapter for us there, buddy? I mean, good God, that is next level cheap. Yes, I have a Super NES Classic. Yes, most people are going to have some kind of USB adapter for their power outlets since everybody's got a smartphone nowadays. But, I mean, I'm not an expert on power adapters. Couldn't that eventually be some kind of a problem? Maybe if the PS1 Classic draws too much power. I get it. It's probably unlikely, but couldn't that theoretically be something resembling a problem? Again, I'm not an electrical engineer. I don't understand 100% how these things work, but really couldn't throw in the old USB AC adapter there, Sony. So the PS1 Classic, I'm getting it. I already have it pre-ordered. I went out as soon as I saw the announcement. I got out, drove to GameStop, and pre-ordered it. Just for the simple fact that the modding capabilities of this could be absolutely incredible. Because the PS1 has so many great games on it, and I have a boatload of PS1 games, but I do have worries that I didn't have with the NES and the Super NES classics. The PS1 classic seems like this is a half-baked idea. No DualShock controllers, 20 games for a system that had more games than like any other system probably made until probably like the 360. I mean, or the PS2, but the PS1 classic, I have some reservations about it. I do have some worries. I'm like I said, I'm getting it, but the PS1 was a massive influence on me as a gamer as a kid. So that's the main reason I'm getting it. If you're the average consumer, I don't think I can recommend this right now until maybe Sony pulls the last 15 games or some of the best titles the PS1 ever had. Again, it had Final Fantasy VII on it already. That's been announced. Tekken 3, Wild Arms. There's another game, I think kind of obscure game I hadn't heard of that was announced for it, but I'm not totally convinced on the PS1 Classic for the average consumer. Definitely has some problems, but again, the modding capabilities are going to be insane. Thanks for watching.